Okay. Good afternoon, all. I'm Amit Kumar Shinde, working as an assistant professor in mechanical engineering department. Now, for this semester, I'm going to taught you the metallurgy subject. Before starting the actual subject points, first I will go through the syllabus structure. Means what will be the teaching scheme will be there, and then how we are going to conduct our practicals, and then how we are going to take the orals, means what is the teaching scheme and what will be the examination scheme for this metallurgy subject, that we will discuss. Then after that we will go through the full syllabus included in this subject. Then after that we will discuss the what is the course objective, and what will be the course outcome. And after that we will I will start the actual syllabus. Okay, so this is your first semester for third year BTech. And in this this is the metallurgy subject. For this metallurgy subject, the teaching scheme will be like this: 3 hours per week theory lectures, and 2 hours per week per batch. One practical session will be there. Then your examination scheme will be like this: one end semester exam of 70 marks will be there. Then in semester examinations for 30 marks, and this ICA will be for 25 marks. And ICA is nothing but your internal term work. Okay, in semester continuous assessment, it carries 25 marks. Then oral exam will be there. So external oral examination will be there for this metallurgy subject, and it carries 25 marks. Means this 50 marks, 25 plus this 25, it will be based on your lab work. In short, you can say that these are based on your practicals and related write-ups. And this is 70 and 30 marks. This will be total theoretical. So this is the examination scheme. This is the examination scheme, and this is the teaching scheme. Okay, so before going, then I will first we will discuss related to some introductory part of this subject. So what is the meaning of the metallurgy? In this subject, we are going to deal with the introduction of the metallurgy in the first chapter itself. So actually before starting the metallurgy, you should understand the concept of metallurgy. That is, this metallurgy is nothing but the extraction of the pure metals from its ores. Okay, ores means in Marathi we can say that khanije. What is the metallurgy? Extracting the metals from its ores. म्हणजे धातू खनिजापासून वेगळा करणे. एक संक्षिप्त रूप जर दिलेला तुम्ही, तर धातू हा त्याच्या खनिजापासून वेगळा करणे, याला आपण काय म्हणतो? Metallurgy. Okay, it is termed as metallurgy is termed as extracting the pure metals from its respective ores. And then this metallurgy also involves other aspects. Here that other aspects I have highlighted in 4 points: A, B, C, D. Okay, now this metallurgy also includes, after extracting the pure metals, you cannot use that direct metal. Okay, if suppose you have extracted gold, or if you have extracted copper, you cannot directly use the 100% pure metal in your practical applications. So to get the desired, to give the desired shape, size, and to make that particular element suitable for the practical applications, you have to convert that into one alloy. Okay, you have to convert it into alloy. The alloy is nothing but it is the mixture of 2 or more metals. It is a mixture of 2 or more metals that will be termed as an alloy. This is the means it will involve the alloying also. Then this metallurgy will involve the shaping of that metals and alloys depending on your applications. You can use the various manufacturing processes. The different manufacturing processes already you have studied in your second year's in the second year, I think in the second year, first semester or second semester, you have studied that you can go for different casting methods, different forming methods, or different joining methods, or different welding techniques are there to give the to obtain the desired shape and sized product as per the your need or as per the applications. Then the next part, or which is included in this metallurgy subject, is here we are going to deal with the heat treatment processes. Okay, then what is the heat treatment process? That I will discuss in the after a few minutes, or I will tell you now only. Heat treatment processes, these are the processes. Suppose you want to change the properties of a particular material depending on the your applications. Then on that particular material, you have to perform certain heat treatments to change its properties. Yeah, as per your application or as per your requirements, if you want to change its properties, then you should be aware of the heat treatment process. And for that, doing the proper heat treatment process, this metallurgy subject is very helpful. And the last aspects we are going to discuss in this metallurgy subject will be, after manufacturing any component, before using it in the your practical life, you have to check its property. Means you have to do its inspection and testing. Suppose for example, if you have manufactured a component, whether it will be suitable to carry that much amount of load which will get applied in its practical use, that we are going to check. Okay. So this is the introduction for the metallurgy subject. I will repeat it again. What is the metallurgy? In short term, you can say that metallurgy is extraction of the pure metals from its respective ores. And what this subject overall includes, it includes how we are going to do the alloying. Okay, means mixing of two or more metals, that will be termed as the alloying. Then how to give the different shape and sizes by using different methods. Already this part is over in your manufacturing processes. Then how we are going to do the heat treatment process to change the properties according to our use. And finally, we are going to, before using the components in actual practice, we are going to check its properties, or we are going to do the inspection. Okay, so this is the introduction to this metallurgy subject in a short 5-10 minute span. Then after that, what are the course prerequisites to understand this metallurgy subject means thoroughly? You should aware of some concepts or some subjects, and that already these subjects already has been included in your first year and second year syllabus. Okay, these are the prerequisites. Just you have to take a look after means when I will start today, I will start the actual syllabus. But whenever you are getting time, just go through some basic concepts. These are the prerequisites. It's already you know that, but you have to recall it, um, or do some revision on that. What are the prerequisites to for better understanding of this metallurgy subjects? So first prerequisites is your engineering chemistry. Okay, first, this is very important that you should be aware of the engineering chemistry subject. Means you should be aware of the what is the meaning of the metal, what is the meaning of the non-metal, and then what is the meaning of alloy. Then what is the crystal structure, what are the different types of the crystal structures. All these are already you have studied in this engineering chemistry subject. Okay, so this will come under the course prerequisites. Then workshop practices, already you have conducted some practicals in the second year, or maybe you have conducted in the first year also. Then the manufacturing processes, this subject is in the first semester itself. In the second year syllabus, this manufacturing process subject is there. Means just to try to revise this subject, or just basic terms we are going to use from these subjects, basically from engineering, chemistry, and manufacturing processes. Okay, so these are the some prerequisites that you should be aware for better understanding of the metallurgy subject. Okay, so these are some course objectives and course outcomes. Okay, course objective means what is the purpose of including this subject in your syllabus. This is the course objective. What is the course objective? So these are the course objective, and at the some course outcomes will be there. Means at the end of this studying this subject, you will be able to achieve this. This is our target. Okay. Now, the basic objectives of adding this metallurgy subject in your syllabus is to make you or make all the students aware about the basic crystal structures, then the composition properties and applications of the material, and why it is necessary. Okay, suppose you want to manufacture one product or a one component, very basic need is selection of the material. Then how you can select the material? For that basic process, for the selection of that material, uh, you you should have the knowledge related to its property, and to understand the basic properties, you should be aware of its crystal structure. Depending on the structure only, you will be able to sort its phases, and depending on that phases, its properties, you will able to know that properties, and according to that properties you can decide its application. Okay, so this is the first objective. Then the second objective is testing of the materials. It is checking its properties. Then heat treatment processes. So if suppose you want to change some properties, for that, which heat treatment process you can select according to the change in the properties needed, that we will discuss in the okay, that we will discuss in this subject only. And then one last chapter is added to make you aware about the powder metallurgy, concept of the powder metallurgy technique, and some introductory part is added related to the composite materials. Okay, so this is our objective. So these are our I will repeat it again in short way. Our objective is to make means you should be able to do the selection of the proper material by understanding its structure, composition, and properties. Then testing, we should be able to do the testing of the material. Means after testing we can decide the properties, and depending on that properties we can decide the applications of the materials. Then if suppose we want to make some changes, you have manufactured one component, but after testing you find out suppose your results are not up to your mark. If you want to change some properties, then you can go for the altering that properties by using heat treatment process, then manufacturing of the component using powder metallurgy technique, and introduction to the composite materials. Okay, so this is the objective, and at the end of this studying this subject, you will be able to find the application, how to select the ferrous materials and non-ferrous materials and their alloy for suitable applications. That is the first outcome. After studying this subject, you will be able to select the proper ferrous materials and proper non-ferrous materials. Proper non-ferrous materials or composite materials for suitable engineering applications. Okay, these are first two outcomes, and third outcome will be you will be able to select the proper heat treatment process, and after that you will be able to do the or find out the suitable testing method to determine the proper powder metallurgy, concept of powder metallurgy for manufacturing the products. So these are our course objectives and course outcomes for this particular metallurgy subject. So now I will discuss the actual syllabus which is included in this metallurgy subject. Total we are having 6 units. Total 6 units will be there. Okay, I will take a little. Having any queries, please put that in the chat box. I will wait for take a pause of 1 or 2 minutes here. If you have any query, let me know it through the chat box. If there's any problem, it may be related to some technical issues that slides are not visible or my voice is not audible, or any problem in my pronunciation or language, you can put that in the chat box. And if no problem is there, you can also put that in the chat box. That everything is clear, you can go ahead with your lecture. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we will discuss the actual syllabus content of this metallurgy subject. Now, the name of the first chapter is Introduction to the Ferrous Alloys, or in short, Introduction to the Metallurgy and its some related concepts. Now, it requires approximately 6 hours. Now, in this introduction of the ferrous materials, ferrous alloys, here we are going to deal with the brief classification of the metals. That is a classification of the metallic material, concept of alloying. Then after that, classification of the cooling curves. Then different types of the equilibrium diagrams. What is the lever rule? Then phase rule. Then solid solution and its types, intermetallic compounds, and what is the allotropy. Okay, all this we are going to discuss in this first chapter itself. Okay, and then the second chapter, that is the unit number 2, is the ferrous metals and alloys. A number of lectures are required to complete this chapter. 11 lectures are required. In this, we are going to deal the iron carbide equilibrium diagram. Okay, this Fe3C equilibrium diagram, iron carbide equilibrium diagram. So this is a very important part as far as this metallurgy subject is concerned. The equilibrium diagrams are a heart of this metallurgy subject. Means depending on the equilibrium diagram only, you will be able to understand the that means depending on the composition, and with the help of that equilibrium diagram you will be able to determine the phases, then its properties for all materials. And out of that, we are having this ferrous metals and alloys, and this equilibrium, this is the equilibrium diagram, iron and carbide equilibrium diagram. Depending on this equilibrium diagram only, you will be able to decide the properties and its applications also, and it will be very helpful in the selection of the heat treatment process also. So this is very important part, and means for your practical applications of this metallurgy, this iron and carbide equilibrium diagram will play a very vital role. And as far as your examination is concerned, your theory examination or your oral examination is concerned, lots of questions will be asked from these equilibrium diagrams. As far as the first section is there, out of 3 in first, total we are having 6 chapters, 3 in the first section and 3 in the second section. Under this second chapter, it carries means almost from the first section 60% weightage will be there for this chapter only, and come in your examination compulsory this question will be there. You can check any previous question papers. If for the as far as the theoretical papers are concerned, 14 marks question will be there on this diagram only. Okay, on this equilibrium diagram, and that equilibrium diagram will involve some critical temperatures and some three transformation reactions are there, and on that only the 14 marks question will be there on this particular point only. Compulsory this question will be there in any examination. Okay, and MCQ questions will suppose an MCQ question examination occurred, then also lots of questions will be there from this equilibrium diagram only. Okay, and then after studying this equilibrium diagram along with its transformation reactions and the various critical temperature lines, the next part is the brief classification. Okay, brief classification of ferrous materials and their alloys, and in that we are going to deal with plain carbon steel. We are going to study this plain carbon steel using various aspects, means what will be their composition, and then what will be their properties, applications, and if there is any further classification is there of the plain carbon steel, means subtypes are there, then we will go through that. Then effect of the alloying elements. Okay, effect of alloying element. What is the alloying element? What is the parent metal or solvent? That we are going to discuss in the introductory part only. I will discuss that. But in this specific chapter, effect of alloying element on properties of steel. I mean, suppose in steel you have added a particular metal, you increased its percentage. In short way, what will be changes in the properties that we are going to discuss here. And then the transformation reactions. This is the part of this equilibrium diagram only. Then after that, some cast irons are there, and a brief classification of cast iron and its composition, properties, and applications. And after that, some specific types of the steels are there. Here I have mentioned it. All these steel types we are going to deal with. Okay, and while studying these different types of the materials or steels, we will study these materials in by considering 3 points only. Means what is its composition, its properties, and their applications. And if any subtype is there, we are going to deal with that subtype also. Okay, in any examination from this part. Okay, please concentrate on this only. Okay, here some 15 names are there. Out of these 15 names, some 5 to 6 names will be given in the examination. Each will carry 3 marks. You have to write its composition, properties, and application. Compulsory question will be there. 4 to 6 names they will provide you, and they will ask you to write their composition, properties, and application. This is for means as far as your theoretical examination is concerned. But you should be able to understand the composition. Depending on the composition only, you will be able to understand the properties of that material, and after understanding the properties only, you can decide their